Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, man, these rumors about Jermall, Charlo, and Caleb Plant being in the works, let me tell you something. I think it is kind of in the works, seeing that there was this brouhaha between Charlo and Plant slapping the Texas barbecue out of his mouth. So that being said, that's kind of a precursor of what's to come when Charlo decides to return to boxing. Now, if you didn't know, Jermall is back in the gym working with Ronnie Shields, and Jermall Charlo seems to be in a much better space. Just to catch you up to speed, in a nutshell, he's just having, problems in his personal life.
Unknown caller.
Okay, sorry about that. Problems in his personal life, man, and he seemed to be getting beyond that. He and the wife supposed to be divorcing. Looks like they're not divorcing. They're actually taking photos and videos together. You're seeing her with him at fights. That's a good sign to me. At the same time, though, it's not my business to talk about what he does. But for me, it's a good sign because if they can stay in that honeymoon stage just long enough for him to go train and for him to be able to get his feet back underneath him when it comes to boxing, then good for us as the boxing fans. That being said, people out here still frustrated because it's over 2 years since he's fought. And I don't know what else y'all want the WBC to tell you. And I don't think how come anyone out here should be frustrated with the WBC supporting Jermall Charlo. You understand? With everything that he's gone through. And let me tell you something. To strip him is the last thing that you want to do. That may have been that final straw to push him over the edge. I tell you, everyone's human. And you bend so far before you break. That may have been his breaking point. Okay? And next you know, we're saying things go left and he does something, something unfortunate. And then now we're all sitting there saying, the WBC shouldn't have stripped him. So let's just hold our horses and not take it to the stupid. But that being said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really sure how much longer the WBC is going to sit there and, allow Jermall Charlo to not defend his belts. I don't care what they say about the WBC title having movement because Carlos Adames is the interim champion. Look, Mauricio Suleiman is a talker. And just because Adames is the interim WBC champion at 160 and that he's somewhat active, don't sit here and act like that suffices for Jermall Charlo. No, it doesn't. There's only one Jermall Charlo, and Jermall Charlo needs to be in the ring fighting. And really, he should be fighting Adames. But I'll tell you this right now. Although they've gone round and round when it comes to Jermall Charlo plenty of times, and they're going to continue to support him, with Jermall Charlo coming back, let me tell you, after 2 years being out the ring, you don't want to throw him in there with no damn Carlos Adames. Not at all. That's not who you need to throw him in there with. So for Jermall Charlo, I'm not sure who it's going to be. But I'll tell you what, he's got to sit here and take a look and comprise a strategy on how he's going to get his feet back underneath him and how he's going to go out here, man, and deal with his mandatory like a guy like Adames. And if he wants to get an opportunity to square off with Caleb Plant and like his brother said, get his lip back, Caleb Plant slapped the Texas barbecue out of his mouth, then he got to look at that. But you're talking about two different weight classes, the fact that he has a belt, Caleb Plant doesn't have a belt. Caleb Plant's not as mandatory. And I think the WBC is under so much pressure and they supported him long enough to where they may not say, okay, it's cool for you to go fight Plant. They're going to probably want him to handle business at 160 before they say, hey, you can go fight Plant. If he does that, knowing he has a mandatory, they could just say, look, now we're going to strip you. Okay? But that's all business. I don't know. They could do that. But Suleiman did point out that the 160-pound title, although it had some movement, they still need Jermall Charlo to get healthy for him to come back and do the business in the ring. Because you're talking about Adames when compared to a guy like what's his last name? Montiel or whatever that he fought. That's two different animals. And one guy is active and super hungry. You just can't think Jermall Charlo is going to come back and be ready to get in the ring with no damn Adames. He's got to get his feet underneath him. But we'll see what's going on because I tell you what, if everything's cool at home, Jermall Charlo's looking at, he's been inactive. He's got guys out here who are so-called filling his position as the interim WBC champion. You got this whole thing with getting slapped by Caleb Plant, the whole thing about missing out on the Canelo fight. That was Jermall Charlo's fight. Y'all know that. He missed out on that fight. And now he's in a position where he's like looking to get himself back into the ring. And I don't think he's going to half-ass. I think he's going to give it 100%. I think his wife is looking at the amount of money they missed out on, the amount of money they spent dealing with their legal issues. And I think, and I really hope for her, that she and Jermall can get on the same page and say, you know what, if we're going to do this, let's do this. And just leave that other stuff. Well, not leave it, but deal with it with some professional help so that they both can be in a better space, not just for his career, for those kids especially, but also for his career since we're talking boxing. But that being said, we're going to have to see. As a matter of fact, when I come here, let me see if I can pull this up for you. And I take a look at this. I got to be honest with you. Where are we at right here? Okay, let me show you. See if I can show you this. So when you come and you look here, I'm going to do this right here. You just look here at 160, right? Look, they don't even have Jermall up there, but for obvious reasons. Any of these guys here, as far as how the ring has him ranked in the top 10, I don't think he needs to get in the ring with any of those guys, even though I think he beats them. But when you come down and take a look at Jermall Charlo, and you look at what's underneath that WBC column, he stretches down a little bit. I mean, you got Golovkin still ranked number 1 somehow. Adamus is the mandatory. Liam Smith, Selecki, he already beat Selecki. Eubank Jr., that would be a good fight. Shane Mosley Jr., you know what, man? I wouldn't be surprised if he got a crack at, if Shane Mosley Jr. got a crack at him. That would be a good fight for Jermall Charlo. That would be a good fight because Shane Mosley Jr. has been putting in the work. He's 20-4. He's looking great. He just got a win. And Shane Mosley Jr. just may be the guy. Matter of fact, when you look at Shane Mosley Jr. and where he's at, he's number 9 in the WBO. He's number 11 in the IBF. He's number 7 in the WBC. And they got my boy number 10 in the WBA. So people, that could be what's coming for Jermall Charlo. I don't know that, but when I look at it, as far as a name, as far as marketability, and as far as low threat, and I'm not trying to insult Shane Mosley Jr., but when you talk about Jermall and what he's done in the ring, what Shane Mosley Jr. has done so far, it doesn't compare, okay? But that doesn't mean Shane Mosley Jr. can't upset the apple cart because stars can line up. The best fighter doesn't win a fight. It's a fighter who boxes the best on that night. Shane Mosley Jr. just may catch Jermall Charlo slipping. You got Shane Mosley Jr. is 6'1". His reach is longer than Jermall. He's a big boy. So all I'm saying is I would favor Jermall, but you just never know. That being said, Caleb Plant in the works. Look, I think they are kind of priming that fight. And I think it is in the works. Not for his next fight, maybe not his second fight, but maybe around that third fight for Jermall Charlo to get in the ring. I mean, look, the stage has been set, right? The entire world heard that slap. The entire world has talked about that. Matter of fact, the Caleb Plant slap on Jermall Charlo, it went from, okay, taken to the boxing ring. It went from, oh, the white guy slapped the black guy. Oh, the black guy was trying to bully the white guy. Oh, the white guy ended up calling him a boy. Oh, this is racist. Like, there's so many spins, right, coming off of that incident. Whether you agree with it or not, what I'm getting at is it's the kind of stuff that's going to help for a fight buildup. And whether you agree with it or not, it's all good for those two in the fight, especially if it goes to pay-per-view. Because trust me, they're going to keep playing that clip of him getting slapped over and over and over. They're going to keep playing that clip of Caleb Plant saying, don't you ever touch me, boy, or whatever he said at the end. And if they ever find a video where Jermall Charlo is grabbing Caleb Plant's beard, they're going to play that over and over. And they're just going to keep, like I said, man, gaslighting this thing. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think they need that build-up, especially for these guys. These guys get the pay-per-view numbers that they're looking for. The only thing Caleb Plant could do that I wouldn't agree with is if he came out there with a Trump hat on. Then, all eyes would be on the sport. And I think some people look at Caleb Plant a little crazy, but I don't think he would go that far because I don't think he's that kind of person. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Jermall Charlo's back. He's putting in the work. Not sure how soon he's going to get back in the ring. How do I think him and Caleb Plant's in the works? Yeah, I do. I think, but maybe 3 fights down the road. But right now, with his comeback fight, I think he'll probably get into with Shane Mosley Jr. I mean, but then again, who am I? I'm just a guy who likes to have conversations on this channel. That being said, keep cool in the breeze.